Hello everyone, in today's class we are going to discuss spotting errors. This is exercise part 10. Let's begin. First of all, read the directions. The first direction is read the complete sentence before selecting the part with the error. Look for the error in the use of preposition, conjunction, adverb, and verb particularly. The third one is keep in mind the various exceptions to the grammatical rules. Remember the sentence may not contain any error. Avoid extra effort and creating an error yourself. And the last one is, if there is no error, the answer is 5. Let's begin with questions.
Let's read the disclaimer. The images used in a slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images.
The first sentence is, he said that he had decided not to buy the house as it was on the main road. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is 5, which is no error. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence is correct as it stands, and there is no error. The structure is appropriate for indirect speech. The reporting verb said is in the past tense, and the phrase he had decided correctly uses the past perfect tense to indicate that decision was made before the time of speaking. The subsequent clauses follow logically and maintain proper tense agreement. So the sentence, he said that he had decided not to buy the house as it was on the main road, is grammatically correct and coherent. Let's move to the next question. The sentence is, the mother asked her son where he was all the afternoon. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is 3. He was all. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence contains an error in part 3. The phrase he was all should be corrected to he had been all. The reason for this correction is that when reporting a question about a past section that was completed before another past movement, in this case the mother asking her son, the past perfect tense is used, had been, indicates that the action is of being away occurred prior to the movement of the mother's inquiry. So, corrected sentence is, the mother asked her son where he had been all the afternoon, which correctly reflects the sequence of events in past time. Let's move to the next question. The sentence is, Ram asked me as if what I was doing. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is 2. Me as if. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence contains an error in part 2. The phrase as if should be deleted. The reason for this correction is that the phrase as if is unnecessary and incorrect in this context. When someone asks a question, they can directly inquire about the situation without the need for as if. The structure should simply be, Ram asked me what I was doing. So the correct sentence is, Ram asked me what I was doing, which maintains clarity and proper grammatical structure. Let's move to the next question. She asked Shyam if I could accompany him to the market. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is 2, if I could. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence contains an error in part 2. The phrase, if I could, should be corrected to, if she could. The reason for this correction is that in indirect speech, the pronouns must align with the subject of the reporting verb. Since she is asking Shyam about her own ability to accompany him, the pronoun should change from I to she. This maintains clarity in who he is being referred to in the question. So, the correct sentence is she asked Shyam if she could accompany him to the market, which ensures proper pronoun agreement and coherence in the context of the conversation. Let's move to the next question. Sumit told his father that he wanted to go abroad after he finishes his studies there. You have options below and you have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is 3, after he finishes. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence contains an error in part 3. The word finishes should be corrected to finished. The reason for this correction is the reporting verb told sets the context in the past. Therefore, any actions that are reported should also reflect the past tense. Since he wanted to go abroad is in the past, the subsequent action should also be in the past tense, resulting in after he finished his studies there. So the correct sentence is Sumit told his father that he wanted to go abroad after he finished his studies there, which maintains consistent tense throughout the sentence. Let's move to the next question. The sentence is my father asked me why you were taking that examination. Options are given below, and you have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. The correct answer is 2, why you were. The sentence contains an error in part 2. The phrase you were should be corrected to I was. The reason for this correction is that in indirect speech, the pronouns must change to reflect the perspective of the speaker. Since the father is asking the speaker, me, about their own actions, the pronoun should be switched from you to I. The correct sentence is my father asked me why I was taking that examination, which maintains proper pronoun agreement and adheres to the rules of indirect speech. Let's move to the next question. The sentence is he said that work hard if I want to secure good marks. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is 1. He said that. The explanation is the sentence contains an error in part 1. The word that should be deleted. The reason for this correction is that the sentence is in direct narration. When reporting direct speech, the word that is not used. The structure should directly present what was said without the conjunction. So the correct sentence is he said, work hard if I want to secure good marks, which correctly conveys the direct speech format. Let's move to the next question. Ram told me that he got up early in the morning daily. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is 2, that he got up. The sentence contains an error in part 2. The phrase that he got up should be corrected to that he gets up. The reason for this correction is that when reporting habitual action or facts, the present simple tense is used instead of the past tense. Since the statement refers to a regular activity, getting up early, it should be expressed in the present tense, he gets up. So the correct sentence is Ram told me that he gets up early in the morning daily, which accurately conveys the habitual nature of the action. Let's move to the next question. The queen eagerly wished that she will be young again. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. The correct answer is option number 3. She will be. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence contains in part 3. The phrase she will be should be corrected to she would be or she were. The reason for this correction is that when expressing a wish or a hypothetical situation in the past, the word should reflect the subjunctive mood or the conditional form. Since the queen is wishing for a situation contrary to reality, that she is not young anymore. So the correct form would be or were. So corrective sentence can be the queen eagerly wished that she would be young again, or the queen eagerly wished that she were young again, both of which maintain the proper grammatical structure for expressing wishes. Let's move to the next question. The sentence is Mohan told me that I was doing his work. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is 2, that I was. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence contains an error in part 2. The phrase I was should be corrected to he was. The reason for this correction is that when reporting someone else's speech, in direct speech, the pronouns must shift to reflect the perspective of the speaker. Since Mohan is the subject of the statement and is referring to himself, the pronoun should change from I to he. So the correct sentence is Mohan told me that he was doing his work, which ensures proper pronoun agreement in the context of indirect speech. Let's move to the next question. The sentence says he requested him that to wait there till he returned from the office. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you've answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is that to wait. Option number 2. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence contains an error in part 2. The phrase that to wait should be corrected to by deleting that. The reason for this correction is that in the structure of indirect request, the word that is not needed. The correct form should imply simply be to wait without that. So the correct sentence is he requested him to wait there till he returned from the office, which adheres to the proper grammatical structure for making request. Let's move to the next question. He respectfully wished his teacher good morning, sir. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is option number 4. Good morning, sir. Let's look at the explanation. The phrase good morning, sir should be corrected to good morning. The reason for this correction is that when greeting someone, especially in formal context, the salutation should be punctuated appropriately. Sir is typically preceded by a comma when addressing someone directly, as in good morning, sir. However, in this context, it is more appropriate to simply use good morning without a direct address. So the correct sentence is he respectfully wished his teacher good morning, which maintains proper greeting etiquette. Let's move to the next question. Sarita said that a stitch in time saved 9. You have options below and 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Correct answer is save time, option number 4. The explanation is the word save should be corrected to saves. The reason for this correction is that proverbs often retain in their original tense to convey a general truth or principle. The proverb "a stitch in time saves nine" implies a timeless truth about the benefits of addressing problems promptly. Therefore, the present tense saves is appropriate instead of the past tense saved. So the correct sentence is Sarita said that a stitch in time saves nine, which accurately reflects the nature of the proverb. Let's move to the next question. He asked him, Father, when the next letter will come. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is option number 4, welcome. The explanation is the word will should be corrected to would. The reason for this correction is that when reporting a question in direct speech, the future tense is typically shifted to the conditional form. Since the inquiry is about a future event in the context of a past action, asking will changes to would to maintain the correct tense sequence. So the correct sentence is he asked his father when the next letter would come, which ensures proper alignment of tenses in indirect speech. Let's move to the next question. He said that he was tired and that he wants to go to bed. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is option number 3, that he wants. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence contains error in part 3. The phrase that he wants should be corrected to that he wanted. The reason for this correction is that when reporting speech is in the past tense, as indicated by he said that, all verbs in the reported speech should also shift to the past tense to maintain tense consistency. Since the speaker is recounting something he said previously, wants should change to wanted. So a correct sentence is he said that he was tired and that he wanted to go to bed, which ensures proper alignment of tenses in direct speech. Let's move to the next question. The captain exclaimed with applause that the players played the match very well. Your options below and 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is 3. The players played. Let's look at the explanation. The sentence contains an error in part 3. The verb played should be corrected to had played. The reason for this correction is that when reporting an exclamation about a past event, the past perfect tense is often used to indicate that the action was completed before another past event or action. In this case, the captain's exclamation, the use of had played clarifies that the match was completed prior to the captain's comment. So correct sentence is the captain exclaimed with applause that the players had played the match very well, which maintains proper tense, consistency, and clarity in the sequence of events. I hope you have understood. Let's move to the next question. The sentence is he urged them to be quiet and listen to my words. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's move to the correct answer. He urged them to be quiet and listen to my words. The correct answer is number 4, my words. The explanation is the my should be corrected to his. The reason for this correction is that the context implies that he is speaking to them about the speaker's word since he is the one urging them to listen. The pronoun should reflect his perspective. Thus, it should be his words instead of my words. So the corrective sentence is he hears them to be quiet and listen to his words, which maintains proper pronoun agreement and clarity in the context. I hope you have understood. The sentence the magistrate asked the accused what was he doing with his hand in gentleman's pocket. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is what was he doing? The explanation is the phrase what was he doing should be corrected to what he was doing. The reason for this correction is that in indirect questions, like the one in the sentence, the structure does not follow the typical question format. Instead, it should use a statement structure. In this case, the subject he should come before the verb was, resulting in what he was doing. So the correct sentence is the magistrate asked the accused what he was doing with his hand in gentleman's pocket, which adheres to the rules of indirect speech. Let's move to the next question. The teacher told the students that the India had attained freedom on 50th August 1947. The options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is option number 3. India had attained freedom. The explanation is the sentence contains an error in part 3. The phrase India had attained freedom should be corrected to India attained freedom. The reason for this correction is that when reporting a past event in direct speech, the simple past tense is typically used for actions that are completed and do not have a relevance to the another past action. In this case, India's attainment of freedom is a completed event that does not require the past perfect tense. Had attained for clarity. So, the correct sentence is the teacher told the student that India attained freedom on 15th August 1947, which properly reflects the use of tense for historical fact. Let's move to the next question. The sentence is he tells me that he would go to Mumbai the next month. You have options below and 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is option number 2, that he would. The explanation is the phrase that he would should be corrected to he will go. The reason for this correction is that reporting verb tells is in the present tense, which means the statement being reported should also be in the present or future tense. Since he is talking about a future action, the appropriate form is he will go. So the correct sentence is he tells me that he will go to Mumbai the next month, which maintains proper tense consistency. Let's move to the next question. The boy requested a teacher to allow him to go to his home now. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is option number 4. Go to his home now. The explanation is the word now should be corrected to then. The reason for this correction is that when reporting requests or statements is in the past, in this case, time expressions should be adjusted accordingly. Since the boy is requesting permission from the teacher at a past moment, the above time should reflect that shift. Therefore, now changes to then. So the correct sentence is the boy requested the teacher to allow him to go to his home then, which maintains appropriate tense and context for the reported speech. Let's move to the next question. He asked them whether he would listen to such a man. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is option number 2, whether he would. Let's look at the correct explanation. The sentence contains error in part 2. The phrase whether he would should be corrected to whether they would. The reason for this correction is that the subject of the inquiry should match the audience being addressed. Since them refers to a group of people, the pronoun should also reflect that by using they instead of he. The correct sentence is he asked them whether they would listen to such a man, which maintains proper pronoun agreement and clarity in the context. Let's move to the next question. He told that his father had gone to Mumbai the previous week. Options are given below. You have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is he told me, he told that. Option number 1. The sentence contains error in part 1. The phrase he told should be corrected to he told him. The reason for the correction is that the verb told requires a direct object to indicate who is being told. In this case, the subject he needs to specify the recipient of the information. Without an object, the sentence is incomplete and unclear. So the correct sentence could be he told him that his father had gone to Mumbai the previous week, which includes the necessary object and clarifies the meaning. Let's move to the next question. John asked James if he had come there just to see him or there is some other reason. Your options below and you have 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. There is some other reason. Option number 4. The explanation is the phrase there is should be corrected to there was. The reason for the correction is that the reporting verb ask places the context in the past. When asking about a reason that pertains to a past event, the tense must be consistent. Therefore, there is should change to there was. Should reflect the correct sequence of tenses. So the correct sentence is John asked James if he had come there just to see him or if there was some other reason, which maintains proper tense agreement throughout the sentence. I hope you have understood. Let's move to the next question. The old man advised his sons not to quarrel amongst themselves when he is dead, but to remain united. You have options and 10 seconds to spot the error. I hope you have answered. Let's look at the correct answer. The correct answer is option number 3, when he is dead. The explanation is the sentence contains an error in part 3. The phrase when he is dead should be corrected to when he was dead. The reason for this correction is that the advising occurs in the past, and the reference to the time after his death should also be in the past tense. Using was maintains consistency with the past context said by advised. So the correct sentence is the old man advised his sons not to quarrel amongst themselves when he was dead, but to remain united, which ensures proper tense alignment throughout the sentence. I hope you have understood. This is all about this session. Thank you.